Hello everybody and welcome to this Finds the Day video. I just wanted to start this video off by mentioning if you enjoy videos like this, taking a look at things that I found out and about, you'll definitely want to check out my secondary channel Mercury. There's a link in the description down below, and subscribe over there. You'll find a lot of videos just like this one, taking a look at things that I found out and about, and refurbishing them. Lighting, ceiling fans, computers, and everything in between. It's all over there. Life, travel, and some of my other hobbies as well. So, if you'd like to check out some more videos similar to this one, I highly recommend checking out my secondary channel, again, Mercury, in the description down below, and definitely subscribe. I know many of you are already over there, and I thank you very much. So, let's go ahead and see what I've recently found. Okay, let's see what's inside. Oh yes, we'll start off with this Regent 80 watt mercury vapor bulb here. Now this wattage is not common at all here in America. We just never had many fixtures that used this wattage of mercury vapor bulb, but there were a couple. Regent, for example, did have a fixture that used this particular style of bulb. It was this little floodlight here, which I have in a 70 watt high pressure sodium version, but it also came in, I believe, 80 and 100 watt. And I think the 80 watt had a 100 watt ballast in it, and they just put an 80 watt bulb in there. I want to say I heard that somewhere, but I could be totally wrong. So a unique bulb, picked it up for 75% off for the purple tags. Not bad of a find. I do have an electronically ballasted area light that takes 80 watt mercury vapor bulbs, so we'll definitely have to turn this on sometime and take a look at it. Brand new in box, everything's in there. Very cool. Okay, we got 3 of these big boxes here, and when I first saw these on the shelf, I wasn't really sure exactly what they were. They said R30 replacement adapter, so the first thing that came to my head was some type of fluorescent adapter. You know, a lot of them are weirdly shaped like this, but it doesn't really say on here. It just says the company that made it, director, I, so, you know, some type of floodlight. That must be its model. I wasn't entirely sure. There's not much on the box either. Again, purple tags were 75% off, so what would that be, $2.50? And they had 3, as you can see here. So there's 3 of these, all exactly the same. But we do have a medium base, so it's definitely some kind of adapter. And there it is. But is it fluorescent? It's halogen. I've seen these online on Lighting Gallery and other lighting sites. These halogen adapters were popular at one time when halogen was coming out and becoming the next big thing. And I never thought I'd see one in person. This one's unique because we definitely have a pretty hefty heat sink up here. Again, halogen gets very hot, so we definitely need a lot of heat dissipation. But all this is plastic. Very interesting choice. I'm also guessing that this is electronically ballasted because most of the weight seems to be up here in the front. And there definitely seems to be circuitry inside. You can see all the different little wires and things kind of through the housing here. So that's my guess. It's probably electronic. And it doesn't mention anything about being dimmable at all. So it'll be interesting to find out how well it dims. But sure enough, halogen adapter. Now I'm sure this ring comes off, and I'm not really sure how it comes off yet, but I'm sure we'll figure that out when we get to doing a video of these. So very cool. Yes, about par 38 size, or par 30, not 38. I mean, it even said it on here, R30, and I can't even remember what I already read. Isn't that terrible? But yes, MR16 bulbs is what this uses. And interestingly enough, at another restore, they had some. Again, purple tags, 75% off. These are interesting. They have a black coating on the back of them. I'm sure they were used probably for a specialty application. I remember seeing this particular brand, not really sure what it is, Black Point Products of Point Richmond, California. I remember seeing this brand of bulbs at Fry's Electronics. So I'm wondering if maybe somebody got a whole bunch of them when they were all on clearance and then eventually just donated them to the restore. I'm not sure, but here's one of those bulbs. It's a black outer halogen flood, which will work inside of this. Now, it'd probably be cool if we had one that didn't have the black back on it, because it might shine some light through the bottom here. But it also matches the black ring here, and you don't really see many with a coating on the back. It's usually just the clear side of things. So if we move that to the side, again, we have 2, 3 of these halogen adapters. So I got 1, 2 of these bulbs. This one's a little newer packaging, as you can see. It has the lumens on it, cost, you know, some of that stuff that is required nowadays. They actually put the information up here on the package rather than kind of a sticker. And there's the change of information on the back as well. So very interesting. I'm guessing these came from Fry's. I'm sure, you know, they may have been sold somewhere else too, but there we are. Okay, let's see here. I thought this was cool because my parents used to have one of these, and I'm sure I have it in the collection somewhere, in their garage door opener of all things. I think when the garage door opener would open, the light would constantly stay on, so my dad would use this to turn the bulb off, is my best guess. We don't have that opener anymore, but back in the day it had this exact adapter in it, and interestingly enough, it's made by Sears. It has the really nice little bell on the end of the pole chain. I love that. Sears, Roebuck and Company. Pictures of how you can use this. These are a very handy little adapter for sure. Made in the USA. I'm not sure if I'm going to open this. I think I might just keep it in the package. That's pretty cool to find something like that. I already have plenty of them that I can pick up and use. Did go to the second use building material place. They had some stickers there, so I picked one up. Why not? Okay, here is another little flood bulb. I'm just realizing that this probably has a different pin distance on it, and it definitely does, but I was kind of hoping in a way I could put a smaller wattage bulb in it, you know, just to have a tiny bulb in there. But this is a 20 watt halogen. Don't really have a use for it, but I thought maybe I could put it in there. It was 50 cents. I can't complain. There's the back of it there. This is kind of like a metal tag. I wonder what this came from. Something Man, 50 cents. I don't know. I don't think it's original to this package, but there it is. Now this one's pretty cool. Notice anything about it. It's blue. Blue. It has a dichroic filter on it. We've taken a look at a dichroic GE PAR 38 bulb on the channel before, and here's a little MR11 20 watt bulb with the dichroic filter again. See how it changes colors as the light hits it at different angles? Very cool. I was like, oh, this is an awesome find. You don't really see these. I think you can still find these online, actually. You can still buy them, but you just don't see them that often. Now, maybe we'll be able to, you know, spread the pins apart a little bit so we can at least put it into one of those adapters and give it a nice showing. But a pretty basic package here. So, pretty cool. That's a really nice find. Again, 75% off. Let's start putting some of these things here so you can see everything next to each other rather than just setting it all off to the side. Okay, last but not least, in this reusable bag, we have 2 incandescent bulbs. Now, this one is unique. This, I think, was 50% off, the orange tags. It says made in GDR. I'm not sure what GDR is. 125 to 130 volt, 60 WD. So I'm guessing 60 watts. Not really sure what the D is. That 8 must be a date code. It says NARVA, N-A-R-V-A, A-H-D. Gotta be a different language. I could just tell by seeing this sitting with all the other bulbs, the shape, the style of base, definitely not American made. Somehow it ended up here in the Seattle area, but the filament is still intact. When I looked at it at the store, it definitely was in use like this. You can see the burn spot there. But what a unique bulb. Definitely going to have a video of this one. Very cool. Okay. And last but not least, in here, we have this. Now, of course, you look in a pile of bulbs, this catches your eye right away. And the first thing I thought, oh, cool, it's one of those Westinghouse turtle bulbs. I think they were called turtle bulbs or something like that. They had an extended life, I do believe. But this isn't one of those. It's a Sears Die Hard bulb. It must have been made by Westinghouse. They had the sticker right over the etch, so I peeled off the sticker very carefully and placed it down here. Again, 50% off, 50 cents. I cannot complain. This is such a cool bulb. It's about A17 in shape, but definitely not A17, you know, round-wise. This is a very unique shape. Definitely the first one in the collection like this. It kind of looks like some of those halogen bulbs that were on the market in the early 2000s. But this has the basic thin glass like any other regular incandescent bulb. It's not thick like halogen, and it is incandescent. I have no idea if it works, but it sounds like it's intact. So this is a very cool find, a Sears light bulb. I have some Sears fluorescent bulbs, but an incandescent bulb, that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the finds that we have right here. But of course we got a couple other things. Of course, you know, we couldn't have just found light bulbs. We had to find some pretty cool other stuff, right? Well, never thought I'd find one of these. This is a Sylvania AlleyKat fixture. I don't know why they put their name on here 3 times. You know, I couldn't see it the first time when it's giant as can be, but it's on here 3 times, so we know for sure. But this is a very unique fixture. Take a look at it. It's kind of like a mix between a street light, a shoebox, and a wall pack. In fact, it can do all 3. So, well, I don't even know really where to start with this thing. We have our main ballast compartment here and our reflector and refractor assembly. We got our photocell here on the side and our mounting here on the back. Now there is a little bit of paint here, so it's definitely been somewhere, but it's definitely not been installed outside ever. This thing is in amazing condition. It's not rusted, it's not, you know, corroded, any of that. It is in amazing condition. And I also never realized how small these fixtures are. Just for a size comparison, here's a 175 watt Mercury vapor bulb. This thing is incredibly small. I mean, you couldn't really fit one in there, but hey, you get a little bit of an example there of how big this thing is. It is quite small. Now, how in the world do you mount this? Well, if you look at the back here, we have kind of a hole and 4 mounting screws. So I suppose you could mount it, you know, maybe with a pipe or something or right to the wall. But as I may have mentioned here a little bit ago, you can do all 3. It came with all of the attachments. I can't believe this. This was an amazing find. So we have 3 different attachments here. Let's go ahead and unwrap them and take a look at the 3 different options. Here's our 3 options. 1, I believe that goes with one of these, so 2 and 3. So number 3 here, we can mount the fixture in 2 different ways. We can mount it like so against a wall, and this definitely tells you one thing. I think they put this reflector assembly on wrong, so you definitely wouldn't light up just the wall. So you can mount it to the wall like so, and have it be a wall pack. You could also mount it to the ceiling, like so, and have it be a ceiling mounted fixture. I do believe when you do that, it slides onto a bracket, and I don't think we have that bracket, unfortunately, but it slides onto a bracket. It has definitely styrofoam here, like it came from somewhere, and that's how it holds it up, which mounts to an electrical box. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We don't have the bracket, but we do have all the mounting pieces, so we definitely can fabricate one. That's not a problem. I think these would be the harder part to find. So, of course, the next option is this one, which would go right on the back, so you can mount it directly to the wall. It would go like this. Again, the refractor assembly is on wrong. And last but not least, I think the most interesting adapter. This one. What in the world is it? Well, This screws on here and it turns it into a slip fitter so you can put it on a mounting arm. Yes, you can mount this thing like a street light. I'm not even joking. This is so cool. Now, obviously, it's missing some of the hardware. I'm not really entirely sure what this thing is, but I suppose we will figure it out when we get that far. Definitely some type of cover, it seems. I'm not sure. Very cool fixture. I cannot wait to make a video of this thing. Again, we have the arm mount. This cover, again, I'm not really sure what that is for. Oops. Actually, I figured out what it's for. I'm just not smart enough. It goes here to cover up the back of this. Yep, okay, that makes sense. And our wall mount plate here as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But we're still not done. Last but not least, we have this thing. Well, what in the world is it? It looks like a really overly done desk lamp. And I suppose it could be that, but it's a little more than just a desk lamp, other than, well, it sits on a desk and it lights up. But this has a ballast in the base. We have an on-off switch. We have a starting helper here. It's mercury vapor. This has been sitting at the second use building material place for quite a while now, and they finally dropped the price on it to something that I considered reasonable enough to pick up. Not really anybody seemed to have been interested in it because it's been sitting there so long. So, well, here it is now on the channel. So pretty cool find. It's obviously mercury vapor. It's a UV light for curing things, medical, whatever you'd want UV light for. It produces a lot of ozone. You have this thing on for not very long and you get a whole bunch of ozone. So it's a fixture you got to be very careful around. Ozone, UV radiation, it's not exactly the world's safest thing. Now, the cord that plugs in from the socket here to the ballasting compartment is just a standard wall plug, which is funny. It's starting to crack here at the base. We'll have to repair that. But the cord was the same cord as this. It was really brittle. It was broken. I've already put a new cord on it, especially one that's grounded, just to make it a little safer. But this thing is really neat. Now on the bottom, we have a sticker for it here, or a nice plaque, I should say. So of course, you can look up that Hanovia. I don't know how really to say their name, but boy, it's got some heft to it. It's about a 400 watt mercury vapor size ballast in this thing. It's quite large. And of course, we will have a dedicated video on this little fixture. Very cool. I felt bad for it sitting there for so long. I just couldn't justify the original price it had on it. You know, I don't have all the money in the world, but I definitely like finding cool things for you guys to enjoy and make videos of here. So it was down low enough. It was time to pick it up to share with all of you. So again, a little mercury vapor tube. I'm not really sure how it's mounted in there, if it has a socket underneath. Similar fixtures to this one. I didn't find one exactly like this online, except for this exact one from the second use place that I picked it up from. But the bigger versions of these had a medium base screw socket in it. So I wonder if that's what's underneath it and if you can unscrew it. Now I've tried, but I really don't want to ruin this little tube, because where are you going to find anything like that? You know you are never going to find another bulb like that. So we're just going to let it be for right now. Just a really cool novelty lamp for sure. Probably put it somewhere where it doesn't get used, because you don't need a whole bunch of ozone and UV radiation. Neither of those are really that safe, but a very cool find. So I really do hope you enjoyed this video, taking a look at my recent finds this past week. Some very cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to making those videos for all of you. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, head on over to my secondary channel in the link in the description, Mercury, and check it out. Subscribe. You'll find very similar videos to this over there. Again, thank you very much for watching, and also please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. And thank you very much again for watching.